class. Just want to talk to you today about a topic that I find of more interest when teaching the second part to an American history course, either at the high school level or the college level. And that topic is concerning Roosevelt's New Deal. Students oftentimes find the various agencies that were created through the New Deal interesting, and more importantly, I like to point out how they affected the local communities that the students are most familiar with. Of the three articles that I found for the week, the first one is concerning the Civilian Conservation Corps involvement here in Georgia, specifically the various aspects that they were involved in concerning construction, both of buildings and roads and bridges and the other things that they were involved in. Particularly, this article comes from the New York Times discussing the work that the Civilian Conservation Corps did at Fort Benning, Georgia. And it talks about how the Corps was used to expand Fort Benning, how they built the various buildings there and around Fort Benning. And I like to bring to attention those local aspects to the students, so they're not only reading about the Civilian Conservation Corps in a history book, but they can actually go and see and touch and be with those historical markers from things such as the Civilian Conservation Corps. The second article I found is again discussing an aspect of the New Deal, one of those agencies, and how it affected agriculture. The article talks about, it comes from the Washington Post and talks about farm security, and we're talking about the Agriculture Administration and how that it helped reform and secure agriculture products and workers during the age of Reconstruction following the Great Depression. The article talks about the work that the agency did here in Georgia, providing farmers a living wage, and how the government bought that surplus of goods from those farmers in order to keep them vibrant during that period of depression. Specifically here in Georgia, the Agriculture Administration did a lot to help keep these farmers afloat. And I like to point that out to the students again, so not only they're reading about it in history books, but they can make that local connection as well. And then finally, the third article that I found comes from the Sun in November 18th of 1934, and it discusses President Roosevelt and his touring Georgia and that of the Tennessee Valley, and the work that the Tennessee Valley Authority did to deliver electricity to those individuals in the Tennessee Valley and throughout Georgia. The article that I found, it's entitled "Roosevelt on Vacation," and it's actually an article showing pictures, so pictorial representations of Roosevelt and his convoys stopping at Norris Dam there in Kentucky on his way to Georgia at his vacation spot. But again, he's out inspecting the work, and this gives students a pictorial representation that they can see of what the TVA actually did. Again, thank you for viewing, and I hope you have a great week. And I look forward to viewing your discussions as well.